Tinubu shocked. Supreme Court's ruling. These claims are fraudulent as P2B and Atiku Abubakar's victory imminent. Hello people, welcome back once again to my YouTube channel. A lot of you guys might not really know what is actually happening in the Supreme Court. The information that a lot of you guys might actually know is that P2B and Atiku Abubakar are heading to the Supreme Court. But that is not just the information that you need. Because there is a particular popular statement that was made by the Supreme Court of the Federal Republic of this particular country. And that particular statement is a very strong and a very concrete evidence and strong evidence concerning a certificate forging and all that. I'm going to show you the statement that was made by the Supreme Court. Well, before we dive into the cross of this particular matter, you people should know, as a matter of fact, to know the names of people that are going to handle Atiku Abubakar's case and P2B's case at the Supreme Court. P2B and Atiku Abubakar are currently heading to the Supreme Court. Well, before we enter into that particular statement that was made concerning the fraudulent and the fraudulent statement that was made by the Supreme Court, you people should know that the current justices of the Supreme Court that will hear and determine the appeal to be filed by Atiku Abubakar and P2B are number one, Olakayode Ariwola, who is the current Chief Justice of the Federation, Musa Tatiju Muhammad, and the person is going to retire by next month in October, and Kudirat Kikere Ekun, John Yangokoro, Owani Musa Abba Aji, Lawa Gaba, Helen M. Oguwemiju, then NM Salawa, Adamu Jaru, Tijani Abubakar, Emmanuel A. Ajim. Then out of these 11 Supreme Court justices, because these are the only justices who have at the Supreme Court level, only 7 out of these men will actually decide the fate of Nigeria and the Constitution. Now, people should know that not all these 11 judges will actually determine this particular case. They're going to select 7. The CJN, being the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Olukayode Ariwola, is going to select 7 people that will actually preside over this particular matter. Now, but before we dive into the cross of this particular matter, people should know that the Supreme Court of the Federal Republic of Nigeria has disqualified someone because of the certificate forgery and because he submitted a fake certificate to the independent electoral body within the country. Now, people should know that Bola Tinubu, as a matter of fact, presented forged NYSC certificate to Inec bearing the name. Look at the name Tinubu Bola Adenkule instead of his name Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as clearly shown in his form CF001. Tinubu submitted, he forged an NYSC certificate. This is NYSC certificate. We are not even talking about his forged Chicago and fake Chicago State University certificate that he submitted to INEC. This is a NYSC certificate because that Chicago State one has actually been established because Chicago State University said under oath that they cannot even authenticate that particular document Tinubu submitted to INEC. Now we are talking about the NYSC certificate. The NYSC certificate that Tinubu, actually submitted to INEC, the name Tinubu Bola Adenkule instead of has the name Tinubu Bola Adenkule. You could see the NYSC certificate on the screen. Now, instead of his name, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as clearly shown in his form CF001. Now, people should remember that the Bayelsa, because the Supreme Court has ruled concerning this particular case in Bayelsa. In Bayelsa scenario, Degi, who was actually disqualified then, obtained GCE in 1984. This is happening in Bayelsa State. Obtained GCE in 1984 and presented it to INEC. A GCE certificate of one Adegi Bibaku, other than the one bearing his name, Bayo Barakama Degi Erime Ola, as shown in his INEC form CF001. Because he submitted, a GCE that had a different name entirely from his own name. And people should know that the Supreme Court, in a lead judgment concerning that particular case, led by Justice Ejimbe Ekwo, JSC, sacked him, stating that his claims were fraudulent. The Supreme Court has been ruling concerning forged and fake documents that have been submitted to INEC because we know that these are ways that our politicians in this particular country has been ruling us. Most of them are using fake and forged certificates that they obtain. And Tinubu, as a matter of fact, think that they can use all sorts of all manner of forged certificates to rule this particular country. Now, the question a lot of people are asking is that will the Supreme Court hold the same position now that Tinubu submitted to INEC a forged certificate bearing someone else's name? Bola Ahmed Tinubu, we are having Bola Ahmed Tinubu, we are having Bola Adekunle Tinubu. Who is this particular man, as a matter of fact? Who is this particular? What does the A in his name stands for? In some document you see Adekunle, in some other document you see Ahmed. And you people should know that there was no time Tinubu offered to change name. There was no affidavit where he swore that he changed his name. But look at his NYSC certificate bearing Bola Adekunle Tinubu. but his name is Bola Tinubu. So the question a lot of people are asking, who is this particular man and why are there a whole lot of discrepancies about him? This is a fresh case about the NYSC certificate, and you people should know that Atiku Abubakar is actually challenging this case. He is not only challenging the Chicago State University certificate. Atiku wants to establish the fact that Tinubu submitted a whole lot of false certificates to Inec, and this is basically the truth, and this is basically what happened. Thank God that he has actually proved the Chicago State University own up to about 95 to 99%. And then again, he's going to prove that this NYSC certificate does not belong to Tinubu, because we cannot see a man who actually submitted, whose name is so different. Look at his NYSC discharge certificate that we saw. We don't even know how he obtained it, because nobody saw him serving. Today, Tinubu cannot say, look at who I served with, look at the person that actually was my core member or was my roommate, or look at the place I served or the state I served. We know that these documents can be obtained. We don't know how he obtained it and all that. But the most important question a lot of people are asking is why is it that the A in that Bola in his discharge certificate, NYC discharge certificate, has Bola Tinubu? It is a pertinent question a lot of people should be asking. And the Supreme Court, as a matter of fact, on Wednesday, or this coming Wednesday, will pick the judges out of these 11 judges, which we just mentioned, that will preside over the case, the appeal case that Atiku Abubakar and P2B will file at the petition at the Supreme Court. And we are just awaiting to see the rascal judgment they are going to give, because I've stated it here categorically that Section 137 IG of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, stated categorically that anybody that has submitted a forged or fake document to INEC must, as a matter of fact, be disqualified. The person must, as a matter of fact, be disqualified. And there is no two ways, and there is no way Tinubu is going to escape this. We want to see, because definitely the Chicago State Court is going to rule in favor of Atiku Abubakar, and Chicago State University will have no other option than to disown that particular fixed and forged document that Tinubu submitted to INEC. And we are going to see how the Supreme Court is going to cover up this blatant and clear forgery that Tinubu did at the Chicago State with his NYSC certificate, and everything about him is forged. Yesterday they released the transcript, and the transcript had a different date of birth, a different gender, a different citizenship, and you could see that a man has a whole lot of secrets. And this is what a lot of people are trying to unravel, because we cannot have somebody we don't know anything about as the current president of this particular country. It is very dangerous and detrimental to the nation. Now look at how the whole world is looking at us, because our so-called number one citizen who is sitting at the presidential seat, his certificate is being questioned. Chicago and the whole world is actually following up this particular case. Well, I would like you guys to drop your comments in the comment section and tell me what you think about this recent development.